Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Added Time, our Fantasy Premier League football podcast happening weekly, every week, or until Mike gets relegated from the mini league because he had a howler of a game week last week. Tell us about it.
Oh my! I was so overconfident last week when I overtook you, and then I asked you this very important question: which three Man City assets did you have? And like an idiot, I put Foden on my bench, costing me 20 points from one player. Which, if I just had that 20 points, everything would have been okay. But no. I put Foden on my bench.
Let the records be known that I'm still the greatest manager in the mini league, I suppose. But I did want to say you put De Bruyne over Foden. De Bruyne got you 10. He also captained, so technically I matched you because I captained Holland, and Holland also got 10. So it worked
Yeah,
out.
but you had Richarlison on top of that.
Yeah, but you know me. I've had Richarlison since 4 weeks ago. You know this.
I did make some good decisions. Like I kept
did.
Gross, and that paid
Yeah,
off.
I was
He
about to say
finally-
you had to play grass to prove your point, and it worked. It's just unfortunate that Foden got a hat trick.
Was your defense as bad as everybody else's?
Yeah, my defense was
FPL?
shocking. Yeah,
Zero,
-1.
one,
Yeah,
negative
yeah,
one.
yeah. No, it was shocking. All my midfield players hold though. Saka hold, Palmer hold, Foden really hold, Richarlison hold, and my front three hold except for Holland. Forgot and Solanke's goal. Was it Solanke? Yeah, Solanke. He didn't get a goal. But Watkins, I'm trying to not let Watkins determine my next move because he played well. Because I was planning to move him on to set up myself for the game week deadline, for the double game week that we just ended our podcast last week. Then the news gets posted. Double game week for Luton and Liverpool.
Double. Yeah, so it's a double. We got that's a coffee in Canada. It's called a double.
So Brentford and Liverpool start off the game week next week, not this week, game week 25. Liverpool and Brentford play. Liverpool then have a break until the Wednesday and play against Luton. Then on the Sunday, Luton play against United, and then obviously the Luton double was on the Wednesday. Man City is on the Saturday against Chelsea, and then Brentford, both games at home for Man City. So strong argument to have maxed out your 3-player cap for Man City assets, and then obviously the Brentford on would be Liverpool and Man City, which is going to be a tough fixture for them.
And this is all game week 25, so it's not this game week. It's
Next
the game
week.
week after.
But
So
why it's important is because you should set your team up for this. And if you're not planning to play wild cards or have transfers in the bank,
all free hits.
or free hits, yeah, you should be doing one of those.
And the reason why you shouldn't be playing too many things is because we just had another double game we confirmed for game week 26. Because game week 26 has 2 new double game weeks confirmed. Another one, I think it's Luton that's playing a double. It's not on FPL yet, but it is confirmed for FA fixtures. So Luton will be playing a double game week in 26.
I'll cut there. Just quickly pull your mic down. You're just to the side, yeah. And then just so it's more. Okay, cool. Luton double game week. When you start
Oh.
again, I'll cut and join.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the other team is. I read it. Do you know?
No, Luton double game week.
Brentford? Is it Brentford? They should cut that part out. I can't confirm that now. It's in my head. I know it, but I just can't remember. Just screenshot more stuff.
Yeah, no, oh, it's fine. I'll just cut it out. Blank 20, Gary 25. So just say, just do blank 26 because a lot of teams will blank in 26.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a blank in 26, so you have to be ready with your chips. And I have, well, Mr. Brainiac over here decided to put Foden on his bench, and I told you my plan already. De Bruyne stays captain, and he's a triple captain option for two easy home games
Hmm.
because Chelsea's easy to beat, and then all of a sudden Chelsea decide to remember how to play football.
Yeah.
So
Well, fair play to them. Um, okay. So, what's your strategy going into this double game week? Do you have any
can we
transfer saved or?
just to reiterate the conversation we had? I have to transfer saved, but reiterate the conversation we had last week, and now it's for me. It's changed. Who are the three Man City players you keep? And last week I said De Bruyne, Alvarez, and Haaland. But now that Foden has popped off with a hat trick and he seems quite settled there, does that change my plans? And does it have you changed your plans by bringing in KDB for the double game week? Because
Mm.
I'm starting to think that the trio for Man City is De Bruyne, Foden, and Haaland.
Hmm.
What are you thinking?
It's interesting to make that point because I'm still struggling to find space in my midfield. I see Salah is expected to be coming back next week, so I have to see if his hamstring injury holds. But if that's the case, then I'm keeping Salah. But if it's not the case, then I'll probably make a move to KDB. But my plan wasn't to bring in a KDB or Alvarez; it was to bring in Kyle Walker for the game week coming up. I was going to make a move to take out Taylor to upgrade him to Kyle Walker for game week 25.
I'm saying it's a bad move, but Kyle Walker has been in the media for two things in the last week, which is not positive. The first thing is he had a baby with someone who wasn't his wife, but not one, but two babies with some model. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, the second thing is, this guy from I think he plays. Does he play for Luton? It's Mupai. He used to play for Everton.
Oh, Malpe, yeah.
Yeah, he uh, so Man City were playing them, and he made some comments in Kyle Walker's ear. Plays for Brentford now. In Kyle Walker's ear about his children from another mother, and Kyle Walker wanted to murder him on the field. So while I see why you want to bring in Kyle Walker, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I tend to stay away from players that are too much in the media because I don't
Mm,
know if Pep goes, yeah, this is too much for you, you need a rest, or if
yeah.
it gets to him too much, or it could be the other way. You could be so angry that he scores. But
Mm,
let's talk a little bit about some players that people should be keeping their eye on, i.e., me, because I'm failing. Number one, Richarlison. This guy doesn't want to stop scoring. He does not want to stop scoring. But here's the thing: Son just came back. He might not play the first game that's coming up this weekend, but he's available
mm,
to play the game.
mm.
Now, is Richarlison going to be negatively affected by Son? He scored two goals against his former team, Everton, and now this week he's playing against a Brighton who have conceded like 5 goals in the last two games.
Mm, mm, mm.
So are you? No, they opening this game week against Man City. So that's Everton is playing Man City. So Spurs playing Brighton. So are you bringing in Richarlison if you were someone else, i.e. me? No
Uh,
double game week next week.
I don't.
Sun coming back.
I don't know if it's worthwhile to try and fit him in for one game week haul unless you have long term plans with him. I am going to be taking him out for 25 and 26. So if that gives you any indication, those that are thinking of bringing him, I think that he's hit his ceiling and he's going to start to blank because he's had a very good run of form. Since game week 16, he's only blanked once. That's incredible. Maybe he keeps going. Hopefully, he does keep going. But my plans for my team to fit as many people in for the double game week as possible, I have to take him out because I rate Palmer, Foden, Saka, and Salah slash KDB over him. So if I was taking someone out, it'd be him to fit in Ross Barkley because Luton's got the double game week and they got a normal game week in 26. So, yeah.
Yeah, the plays. Barkley in.
Barkley
Keeping
in.
you, you're keeping your eye on him as a beast the
He's
late.
been playing very well. The old Chelsea boy. So,
Tell me about Brighton because Estupinian is killing us.
well, I've Van
He's
Heck.
killing us.
So it's
He's
not been
killing.
He's killing you more than me because Van Eyck was only 4 mil. So Van Eyck was like, I'll throw you in. And if you haul, you do. And if you don't, it's fine. And I got an 8 and a 6 pointer off him. And then he's been blanking. And I haven't started him because he's bench fodder. So I'm sorry for all of you that own a stupid end. That was a stupid end move.
Yeah, and he's playing Arsenal this weekend, so
Yeah, it'll be tough.
no, Arsenal Spurs again. So
Spurs, yeah.
it's not going to be a good place. I think I was one player that I was watching, but he did pull up with an injury, and he didn't do anything this last weekend. Was Olise, so I think I would rest on Olise. Do you think I should start Pascal Gross against Spurs or not? Spurs don't have a very good defense.
Oh, you're going to bench Foden again.
No, I'm never going to bench Foden again. And Foden's going to blank for the next 4 games.
And Gross will get a hat trick. It's tough to say because you don't have Saka, do you?
No, I don't.
So what's your midfield looking like? You got Foden, KDB, Palmer, and
Jota and Gross.
Jota and Gross. That's tough, eh? That's actually pretty tight. I'd like, but then who you bringing Richarlison for? Don't come here with this nonsense.
I'm not bringing Richarlison.
Don't
It's
do it.
silly to bring in a player that's going to be blanking.
He's gonna blank
Game
now.
26.
Yeah.
No, it is definitely blanking in game 26. That's. Did you have anybody from the 4-4 and the 2-2 Burnley, Fulham, Newcastle games, Luton games? Because that games on Saturday, there was one of the record goal scoring days of the Premier League.
Yeah. Well, firstly, I really don't like Kieran Trippier, and I think he should just leave.
Yeah, but he didn't leave, and look at him.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I don't like him. So he needs to leave.
A goal and an assist.
I watched the Villa and Sheffield game. That was insane. That was good ball from Villa. But I wanted to say to you though, is that someone else I'm watching, other than that, from Aston Villa, would be Leon Bailey again. He's just very attacking and very forward, and he's been getting some points.
You tell me where's there space in the midfield.
But that's what I'm saying. There's just no one.
Only say no space. Bailey, no space. Watkins is the only one that can get space, but everybody's taken him out recently to afford moves to Haaland and things.
Yeah, well, suckers, because I bought Haaland with 13.9. I am going to take out Watkins for Nunes this week, and next week that frees up funds for me to take out Solanke to, drumroll please, Ivan Toney.
What?
The scenes.
Now you're going for Tony.
Because of the double Brentford game week, bro. I told you the plans.
Tony's playing who?
Tony's playing Liverpool and City, so 2 very hard fixtures, but I back him.
I feel like this double game week is where my last opportunity to pull ahead of you, and if I don't, it's game over.
I might actually win the league of this double game week with this plan because no one is going to be able to do what I'm doing unless they wildcard.
Unless you don't bring in KDB and he's between 2 game weeks.
Yeah, I'm not bringing in KDB.
6 goals and 3 assists.
Yeah, I mean unless Salah doesn't play, I'm not bringing in KDB.
So yeah, it's going to be a hectic game, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves because we've got to plan for this game week first before we.
Yeah. So
head
what's your thinking going into this week? You've got Man City at home against Everton, which screams 3 Man City players again. It's a very good time to bring in a third Man City player if you haven't yet. I need to free up the funds to make the moves I want to do in 26. Otherwise, I would be looking at bringing in a third Man City player. It still needs to be a toss-up between KDB and Walker because I do want one of them. But if Salah's not injured, I don't want to risk selling Salah and then he starts in double game weeks as well. So he's rumored to come back in the double game week as well. So we'll see.
I think he will come back, but he's only going to play 1 match. The second one. For me, I would think if you're looking forward to this weekend, specifically with an eye on next weekend, you got to bring in a second Liverpool asset. That's what you're doing with Nunes. Because they're playing a double game week coming up, but Liverpool lost to Arsenal. Poor Burnley's going to get annihilated.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to throw everything at Burnley.
Yeah, the
They're going to try and
revenge
score
play.
10-0 at Liverpool at home. And they are angry, and they're going to try and reestablish a strong lead. So Burnley's going to suffer. So I would bring in if I wasn't bringing anybody, I would be bringing in some sort of Liverpool player. Is that Trent or is that a forward like Nunes? I'll have to think about it because I still want to bring in Haaland because I feel like Liverpool and Man City are going to put down markers this week
Yeah.
and try and score as many goals as they can. Uh, Richarlison or for Spurs or Brighton and Gross, it's kind of a throw up between which one. The reality is, don't bring in Richarlison because he's going to blank soon, anyways.
Yeah,
So,
it's tough though with midfielders and Liverpool midfielders because you want to bring in Jota, but if your team's already stacked, do you? Which is why I've gone the Nunes route. Just because, and to be honest, Nunes' stats isn't bad. Like he's got the most shots on target.
my
He just
problem is
can't get it in the net.
If Salah comes back, who loses their place? Is it
Yeah,
Jota? Or is it Nunes? And it's actually probably Jota that falls to the bench. So he didn't have the greatest game against Arsenal. None of the Liverpool players did, though. And I'm also
it's
looking.
because they drank beer after the win. That's why.
And Newcastle got a tough one against Forest at home, so I wouldn't be thinking about Trippier right now. Man United got a tough one at Aston Villa, but
Don't
Garnacho is
don't talk
proving
to me
there.
about Kieran Trippier because we're gonna say we don't talk about him now. We don't talk about him now, and then 2 weeks down the line, now's the time to bring in Trippier. You bring him in, he gets sent off. Nathan loses money and points, and then he goes to Bayern, but he actually doesn't, and then he comes back and. I'm not doing this again. I've been, I've been burnt.
So you saying my play should be to bring in Trippier just to
Annoy me
mess
because
you?
he will score points if you bring in him and I don't. Yeah. Although Trent is not a bad look. Maybe I might upgrade Porro to him down the line because I might even be looking to offload Porro for Walker.
Yeah, this
It's
guy's blanked us so many weeks in a row.
yeah, he's done his haul, hasn't he? He's already got his bit, and it's a bit tired. It's 2 weeks blank, and then he got points, and then a blank, and then a point, and then a blank, and then a point, and then a blank. So it's like up and down with him.
You have to wait for attacking returns. I would say I wouldn't make a change to Poro until the blank week, though. Like, I still think two good fixtures for Brighton and Wolves means that Pedro Porro could still come up with a return this week or next week, and then you can move him on. This is going to be a very interesting game week, and I hope I pull ahead. But yeah, what captain choices for the coming game week? I'm
Uh,
staying on KDB.
I'm
I
staying on
believe in
Haaland.
KDB.
Haaland Everton. He needs to cook. He needs to score.
Yeah, I think see for me, I wasn't ready for Haaland till this game week. Now that he played last game week, he got a young involvement there. I think
So
now he goes full force. The robot is back. We see
do
full
you?
KDB and full. But it's time for me to move on Alvarez. I think.
I was about to say, do you upgrade Alvarez now? Is this the time, or do you shuffle money around and take out Watkins as well?
Well, I want to take both. I don't want to take out Alvarez, but I have. If in order for me, this is what everybody has to think about. Who in your mini league are you trying to beat?
Hmm.
In order for me to overtake you again
You
and
need
make up
Haaland.
30 damn points, I need Haaland. But I also need Foden because you have both of them. And so for me personally, I have to bring in Haaland for Alvarez and captain De Bruyne. I have no choice. I have to rely on KDB being the one that hauls. But if he doesn't haul, I still match you for Foden and Haaland. I have no choice because
No,
I'm not. Because
I've left you no choice. It could have been the other way
I was
around.
ahead,
Yeah,
but now you ahead, so I have to chase, and I'm way better at chasing.
yeah,
I'm
you
not
are.
good at staying ahead, but I'm good at chasing.
Although I've
So
proven to be a good chaser this league. Um,
yeah,
it,
you're okay at chasing, but you're very good at staying in front.
yeah,
So we'll see.
it could have gone the other way though. I mean, KDB could have been the one to hold the points and Foden nothing. So
Yeah, that's the thing about Man City. There's too many players that could do it now, and we don't even seen them being rested yet. And for the double game week, who knows who gets rested? It could be even Haaland that gets rested for Alvarez because he come back from an injury.
so on that then, give me. Well, we know you're captaining KDB. Everyone and their auntie knows that you're captaining KDB. But give me your top three captain picks. Or give me four. Give me four.
Okay,
Give me four captain picks because
so
KDB's
take
on
out
there.
ADB's we are captain pick
Okay.
for this game week. If you were thinking of captaining anybody, it's gonna be either a Man City player. Okay, so you
Of
have
that big three
options
we've
there.
mentioned, Haaland,
Yeah,
Foden, KDB.
yes, one of those two. If you are looking at a Liverpool player, I think Jota or Nunes for this game week is still a viable option because there's goals to be had and they are angry. Uh,
And Jota needs to
so
pick up his act. He needs to show that he can still start for Klopp.
Brighton don't have the best defense, so if you wanted to have an outside pick, while Richarlison is on fire form, you could go with that.
And they're playing at Spurs as well, so home
Yeah.
fixture advantage.
And I wouldn't cut anyone out of those players. Richarlison would be my outside bet, but anybody else is to me a little
Hit
bit
and
of a
miss.
gamble. Because Aston Villa play United, anything could happen. Arsenal play away from home against West Ham, London derby, anything can happen. And our vice captain Cole Palmer, but I don't know what's going to happen on Monday. I don't know what Chelsea's going to come up. Is
Well,
it who
it's
knows?
a mixed
Who
bag.
even knows? Even Pochettino doesn't know. Even
You know,
Thiago Silva's wife doesn't know. No one knows.
you can pay a subscription to like a farmer's market and you get like a mixed bag of veggies every week. I'm sure
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's like that. That's what Chelsea is right now.
yeah.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, then sometimes you reach in with your hands full of
The worms and the
fucking
flies.
rotten meat.
This
So
bloody
yeah,
farmer.
I honestly have no idea what transfer to make this game week.
Hmm.
And I guess the reality is one of my players is gonna sit on the bench. Right now it's Solanke that's sitting bench. And that probably means that I have to use my free transfer for someone on the bench that I'm setting up for next week.
It's very risky for me to be taking out Watkins, I think. I'm trying to not let the Sheffield game cloud my judgment because he got Manchester United up, and then he does have a bit of a good run of fixtures, but the ceiling
They,
of Nunes, I think, is going to be higher, which is why
they
I'm leaning
just
towards him.
Villa just got knocked out of the FA Cup by Chelsea, and Villa were rubbish. I don't know if that's going to negatively affect Villa's confidence going forward and give Man United a leg up. And
It
here
could
comes
also do the
Garnacho.
opposite and make Unai Emery think, sheesh, we got to make moves, otherwise I'm getting sacked.
Can, can we talk a little bit about Man United? Because Man United's assets have actually been doing their thing. We have Garnacho, we have Garnacho,
Hoyland
we
started
have
scoring.
Hoyland.
Hmm.
Even Rashford got on the score sheet after he was went
What?
out partying.
Rashford on the score
Yeah,
sheet?
not the score
Nah,
sheet, but he did get an
he
assist
didn't do his
last week.
maths.
So, but I just mean this Ganacho and Holland are actually assets we have to take into account. I wouldn't say right now because the fixtures aren't the best, but at some point the fixtures swing a little bit after Aston Villa, and no blank got Luton and Fulham. A tough one against Man City, which United could turn up for, and then Everton and Sheffield. So out of their next five, from game week 25 onwards, they have four really good fixtures.
Well,
But as we've said every week on this channel,
FDR.
fixtures mean there's another word, but fixtures mean nothing. Fixtures mean nothing. Just go on form.
Here's a
And Garnacho and Holland are on form.
here's a news headline for you: Garnacho, the new Cole Palmer.
Do you think so?
Well, they were the same price when they started popping off. Cole Palmer's now, I believe he was 4.9 or 5. He's now 5.9. So he's gone up by a whole mil. Garnacho is sitting at 4.8. Those that have slept on Palmer, because there's at least 60% of you, maybe it's Garnacho. Maybe he's the new Palmer.
There's just no space. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of sidelined Man United, and I'm keeping Palmer because even though Palmer has bad games and Chelsea have bad games, he still pops off an
Yeah,
assist.
he's Cole
He still
Palmer.
pops off a goal. He still gets a penalty. He's staying in my team because he's just too consistent. And at that price point that we bought him at, he's too good. And Gusto's now playing really well, so he's also worth having on the bench too. I might
Yeah.
even start him because I don't know who to start on my defenders because they're all rubbish. I wish we could play FPL with no defenders.
Imagine. Imagine. So, well, that leaves us with some things to think about. But so far, for Mike, he is going to be captain KDB. I'm going to
I am
captain
captain.
Haaland.
But I'm going to bring in Haaland to match you.
And you're taking Alvarez out this game. Are you going to have to make 2 transfers, though, or do you have the money?
I have two free.
Okay. So you're not
So
going to take a hit.
I'm not taking two transfers. I'll just leave my team as is and go Haaland in.
And you also have Watkins as a differential this game week, because I'll be having Nunes.
But I have Jota. And one of them is going to
Yeah.
hit the crossbar 5 times.
Yeah, that's true. Or they both might. And Diaz comes and scores.
Final question for you.
Let me have it.
Who would you play between Solanke and Gross for this week?
This week,
I have to bench one of them. Who do you bench?
So I'm taking Solanke out next week to fit in Ivan Toney. But he does have Newcastle and Man City, though. So I see why I
But
would
would
take
you
him out
play
next
him
week. But this
this
week,
week against Fulham away or Tottenham away, which for Gross, which is the better fixture? I got this wrong last week. I should listen to you. So I'm asking your advice now, please, sir. Please tell me what to do.
well, here's the thing. Fulham concede goals
So do Tottenham.
and Tottenham concede goals. I can only just go back and look at history. And if I'm scrolling back through now, the common theme is that Tottenham concedes less goals. But Fulham also beat Arsenal, so I don't know. It's quite a tough one. I'll tell you who I'm playing because I don't have Gross. So I'm going to be playing Solanke. I will say though, Solanke, I think you play Gross. I'm be honest, because Solanke he scored and then he blanked and blanked and then he scored and then he blanked. So what comes after that? A blank. So he'll haul when I take him out. So you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's my big decision, and I'll make that decision now, and then we'll see what happens.
I mean,
But
think
I
about
think
it.
we're out of time.
Yeah, I was about to just say, think about it. We're out of time. So
We are out of added time. We're running down the clock. The referee blew the whistle.
it's yellow carding us for time wasting, like he did to Petrovic against Aston Villa. Also, well, but whatever. People have clicked off, but just for the Chelsea people that have still stayed on, let us know. Do you want Poch out or Bowley out? Because
We're gonna be
Thiago Silva
starting-
knows what's up. His wife knows what's up.
Soon we're going to be starting a Chelsea-only podcast as well, where we rant about Chelsea.
I think it'll go down well.
Yeah, it's going to not be good for mental health, but it's going to be fun.
It will be good for
So-
mental health. We get to talk about our problems instead of going to bed with them. So, but yeah. Well,
But yeah,
oh,
thanks everybody for
and if you
listening.
made it this far in the video, I made 86 points and Mike made 55. So, yeah, let's left it for the end so no one knows.
I've already been depressed about that. So.
Just
I
at
was
one of
trying
us.
to get off the podcast before you told the world I'm a failure.
Just at us in the comments if you heard that. But cool. Anyway, Mike, you want to hit us out?
Yes, thank you very much for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week to the lead up of Game Week 25, the double game week. But this week, keep your points tight, keep your players planning for the double game week, and we will see you with your triple captain free hit. Bench
Wild card,
boost
baby. Bench
chips
boost. Yeah.
next week.
The chips are
It's gonna be
coming
lit.
out.
But you gotta have a foundation, so we'll see you again after this wonderful game week. Goodbye, good luck, good night, and